Budaya, Tashidele, and good evening. So we meet again after a long time.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So we have been busy, and yeah. So, but we must get back to the Dharma. So we are very blessed to be able to sit here and learn the Dharma, and for the benefit of all sentient beings. So today, as usual, we start with the taking of the refuge. So we take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha for the benefit of all sentient beings. So I will recite in Tibetan, and then so one of these days you have to also learn how to recite. So for now, because it's after some time, so it's better for me to because we are also running short of time, so I will recite it, and then in the future you will learn how to recite it on your own.
Okay.
Namo Guru Be. Homage to the lineage of teachers. Namo Buddhaya. Homage to the enlightened ones. Namo Dharmaya. Homage to their teachings. Namo Sanghaya. Homage to the community of practitioners. Namo Guru Be. I'm inspired by the lineage of teachers. Namo Buddhaya. I'm inspired by the enlightened ones. Namo Dharmaya. I'm inspired by their teachings. Namo Sanghaya. I'm inspired by the community of practitioners. Namo Guru Be. My path is supported by the lineage of teachers. Namo Buddhaya. My path is supported by the enlightened ones. Namo Dharmaya. My path is supported by their teachings. Namo Sanghaya. My path is supported by the community of practitioners. Sangye Choedron Suki Chognam La Jangcho Bardu Dagni Chab Suchi Dagi Jin Sogi Besu Nam Ki Rola Pinchir Sangye Druparisho Sangye Choedron Suki Chognam La Jangcho Bardu Dagni Chab Suchi Dagi Jin Sogi Besu Nam Ki Rola Pinchir Sangye Druparisho Sangye Choedron Suki Chognam La Jangcho Bardu Dagni Chab Suchi Dagi Jin Sogi Be Su Nam Ki Rola Pinchir Sangye Druparisho. Until the heart of enlightenment is reached, I and all my kind mother sentient beings, as vast as the skies, go for refuge to the Gurus, go for refuge to the Buddhas, go for refuge to the Dharma, go for refuge to the Arya Sangha, from the merits accrued by practicing generosity, morality, patience, effort, Jhāna, meditation, and wisdom. May I become a fully enlightened being, a Buddha, to benefit numberless sentient beings. So set your motivation that we are going to listen to the Dharma for the benefit of all sentient beings. Simchen Thamche Deva Dan Deve Judan De Pare Juche Dunga Dan Dunga Ki Judan De Vare Juche Dungi Mepe Deva Dan Pa Dan Me De Vare Juche Nirin Chata Nidan Da Ve Tanyom Chen Pola Ne Pare Juruche Semchen tamche deva dan deve judan den pare juche donga dan dunge gi judan de vare juche dange me pe deva dan pa da me de vare juche nyeren chada nyedan da ve tanyam chen pola ne pare juche. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. This is metta. May all beings be free from suffering and from creating those causes of suffering. This is karuna, compassion. May all beings never be separate from the bliss of joyfulness, of being in the true nature of mind. This is same as mudita. Joy, sympathetic joy. May all beings be equanimous, free from the extremes of attachment and aversion. Meaning the duality of like and dislike. And this is upeka, which is equanimity, the teachings of the four Brahma Viharas. Simche namki sampada loye jeta jeta vache chontumon te payi chiki korlo kordo so. So now we are here to learn about the Dharma. So here is very important for us to practice Dharma without thinking that we are practicing the Dharma. So we make a big mistake when we practice the Dharma. We think that there is somebody practicing the Dharma. So it's not so easy to understand in the beginning, but slowly we will understand. But first we have to recap what we have learned. We have learned the life of the Buddha. We have then the Four Noble Truths, and then we have learned the Noble Eightfold Path, but not finished. So we have to do the right concentration today. But before that, I want to finish. There's one part of the right effort which I did not have the opportunity to finish the last time. So today we are going to finish the right effort. So we talked about right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right? So today I recap a little bit about right effort, and because it comes under the concentration part, right? So we have the three trainings. So the Noble Eightfold Path is the map towards enlightenment. It is not enlightenment itself, right? It's actually, and later on I explain also what exactly is enlightenment, right? So what is the idea of enlightenment, and why are we practicing? What is the whole idea? We must know. And why are we making effort? Also we must know. So I want to talk to you about my teacher, Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, the late Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh. But there's no late, there's no east, there's no past, there's no future. He was never born and never can die. So sometimes we say the late. So for me, the teacher is still alive in me. And whenever I invoke the teachings and quote from Venerable, my master, then it's just a continuation. So the teacher never actually was born, and the teacher can never die. So this is the great understanding that he wished for us to have. Yeah. So we are always caught up in the birth and then the death. Yeah. And then I and the you. Yeah. So many things, the right and the wrong. So we must understand that all these things are the language of the ordinary non-practitioner. We must speak a different language. Otherwise, why are we practicing? The language that we speak must correspond to the language of Dharma. So the language of Dharma is so beautiful that the moment you think Dharma, you speak Dharma, you act Dharma, you become Dharma. Then you really understand what is Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya means the body of Dharma. So then you don't have to worry about whether your teacher is with you, or the teacher is far away, the teacher is alive, or has passed away, Buddha is 2,500 years ago, 600 years ago, or today, we won't cry.
Still with us.
Yes, because the Dharma body of the Buddha is always with us.
Always.
And the moment you know how to practice, that time you really can feel that the Buddha is there. Yeah, understand that much, okay? So before that, I must tell you, my teacher, Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, he quoted a sutra on the right way, the best way of catching a snake, the better way of handling a snake. Last week, on Thursday, Thursday, there was a snake that came to our house.
This one.
A very long one.
Wow.
Yeah, but not a thick one. It's quite a thin one, but a long one. And then the dogs were barking, and then Roxy saved the family. But actually, yeah, you know, if we have, she saved us in terms of, she told us that it's there. And later we put the Roxy outside, inside here, and asked her to play. And then we sat down and did prayers.
In outside.
The snake was here, right in front, near the car,
Oh.
right at the flower pot there.
Wow.
Yeah. So then the snake came, and then the snake just wanted to have a place to rest, passing through a cool place because so hot nowadays. Just
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
relax, you know.
Yeah.
Just want to have a place. Everybody needs a place. You also need a home. The snake
Yes.
also needs a home. But sometimes, you know, we immediately, what we do is we want to kill the snake. So later when I told my neighbors also, there was I told much later when the snake had already gone 2-3 days. Because I know from past experience that human beings, when we say there's a snake in the house, straight away they call bomba, or straight away somebody will kill it. So it's like, can you imagine that if you have, like, if you want to rest, you're very tired, you want to go home and rest. But what happens if you're not near your home? So you just go somewhere where you can just temporarily rest while traveling. You know, you want to rest. Or maybe your home is taken away, so you need to find a new home. So then you go finding for a new home, you know, because you are part of this nature, you're part of this universe. So the snake has as much right to live on this earth as we do. So the snake doesn't have the idea that this is your property, my property. It's just
Yes.
for the
Nature.
snake, it's just nature. It just wants to
Nature.
go anywhere. But it doesn't
Yes.
understand that we human beings are very possessive. This is my property, and very fearful. So we don't allow the snake to come. You know, in the past, our grandparents stay in the kampung. You know, great grandparents, all of them would have lived with a snake. Like, how can you have fields? Like my grandparents, great grandparents were farmers. My entire, you know, ancestors all farmers. How on earth would they be a farmer if they don't know how to live with the snakes?
Correct.
When they plant the wheat, they plant the potato, they plant so many things, you know. When they give the water, they irrigate, I'm sure they would have snakes, everything, all
Yes.
sorts of things will come.
Everything also have.
Do you think that every day they will kill?
No.
People in India learn how to live with snakes
Yes.
and learn how to respect the snake so much. Yeah, and then the snake also knows. It knows that, okay, this is human being, better don't come near, you know, because human beings are very scared. So they will just move away, they'll go somewhere further,
Yes.
you know. So that's how the snakes, you know, they save themselves and then they save us also. But we cannot understand the snakes because we never look deeply. So right concentration is about looking deeply. Then only you can go to right view. The right view which gives birth to wisdom. So looking deeply means you actually have to look at the snake and understand the snake. So then my venerable sister Dr. Tenzin, my sister here, Sister Raj, and myself sat down and we offer some milk and sprinkle some. In our Indian tradition, we say kachi lassi, which means like this lassi. You know lassi?
Lassi.
Yeah.
Inside mix some
We-
milk.
Yeah.
The last
Yes.
lassi, like a
Yes.
bit sour.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
So we make it a little bit like diluted, and then we sprinkle, you know. So then he understands,
Oh,
slowly.
sprinkle on.
Not on the snake around. We don't sprinkle on. We don't harm the snake. We don't want to sprinkle anything on the
Yeah.
snake. So then we did some prayers, and then we communicated to the snake as to how to go back to the oil palm estate, go back to the underground, and then go this way. So the human beings also must understand. Then after that, 3 days later, I told this to my. I knew that the snake will go. It won't harm anybody because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
already prayed, and it just wanted to live. It just wants to live in peace. It will not go to any house simply for no reason. So I told the snake, please go back, and we told also in the prayers to go this way, that way, whichever way, and then it's over there. And then sure enough, nobody has seen the snake already 1 week now,
Oh.
right? So if I act like normal without looking deeply, tell people immediately call the bomba. Some people will say that I'm very irresponsible, that I didn't alert the neighbors, but I say that I look deeply. There is a difference. Because there are thousands of things in this world, that how many things are we going to stop? How much of can we take out every dangerous thing in this world, throw it away just because we cannot tolerate, we cannot learn how to live?
You talk to the neighbor, right?
I talk to the snake.
Oh.
First I talk to the snake, then after that we pray, and then the snake left. And then a few 2-3 days later, I told the neighbor that that there was a snake and all, because they say the dogs were barking and all that. I said yes, because a snake came. Oh, did you catch the snake? That's the first question they ask. So I want to ask, why do we need to catch a snake?
Because
Why?
because a lot of human, a lot of
Hmm.
like normal people like us, or what, I mean, that never think deeply, like
Mm.
what
Yes.
Venerable has said, never think deeply, like
Yeah.
they will just think like,
Hmm.
just think the very, very simple thing. Okay, I see the snake.
Hmm.
The snake is in my property, so I want to find a way to
Hmm.
either call bomba. The first thing, sure, bomba first,
Hmm.
because we saw a lot of news or what,
Mm.
whatever news, which is the bomba is catching the snake.
Hmm.
That's the thing, the mindset.
So now
Yeah.
the human being is frightened because we don't look deeply, like what you just told me also. We don't look deeply. So when the human being is afraid, he doesn't look deeply, then it doesn't have the wisdom to act. And when you don't have the wisdom to act because you do not know how to look deeply into nature and understand how nature works. Of course, if it is a very big python, then maybe it is a different story. You have to use your wisdom, right? If it's an anaconda, and if it is beyond your control, and if it doesn't go away, then of course you need to have some backup, right?
Some backup,
But
yeah.
usually it goes away,
Yeah.
and you have to be very careful. But you have to also learn how to live with the all these forces of nature. The bees come in. The bees also have sting, but we cannot all the time, like react. Like the bees come straight away, we are going to here in my neighborhood also we like to kill them immediately. Call the bomba, burn their nest and everything. So we are human beings cannot tolerate any kind of impending danger. We always want to be safe, but we don't want to protect other lives. And the Buddha's teaching tells us through the right, to the what do you call that? The precepts. So, meaning that right, what is that? How come? Right action. Right action. Right action means we don't kill, we don't steal, we don't engage in sexual misconduct. This is the right action, right? So we cannot, if we cannot kill because we understand how scared we are to die, and we are killing the snakes, and we are killing the birds and the bees and all because we are scared to die. And they will say that we scared our children will be harmed. That means we are scared of death. We are scared that something bad will happen to us or our children, somebody else, right? But we never think that we are the something bad that will happen to the snake.
They are also scared.
They're also scared.
They are also scared.
Because
So-
they are living beings also.
Correct.
They got feelings also.
Correct. So that's why we must make sure
Yeah.
that we always walk very, very, how to say, with a lot of kindness and compassion and all mindfully, so that you don't accidentally step on a snake, accidentally kick a snake, accidentally kill a snake, or something like that. So which means that when we are mindful, then we can see the snake. If we are mindful, we can understand the snake. If we are mindful, we can communicate with the snake. If we are mindful, we can get the snake to, to leave. Like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I also
So
I
we
also
cannot.
hiking saw a
Yeah.
snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and-
we must
yeah.
not act on impulse
Yeah.
and try to change the everything in our path just because we want to walk freely. So in life also, when the obstacles come, we cannot tolerate, because we have the mentality that we need to take everything out and make our path so clear that nothing should come in our way. But that is impossible, because we live with so many things in nature, and we live with so many different people, and we have so much negative karma from the past.
Yes.
All these bad things will come. So but we cannot have the attitude of violence, of getting rid of something. So in the sutra of catching, the better way of catching the snake, my teacher said, if you catch the snake by the tail, it's actually the Buddha said. My teacher is just quoting the sutra from the Buddha. If you take the tail of the snake, catch it from the back, what will happen?
The snake will.
Then what will happen? It can bite you. What?
Yes.
Correct or not?
It will like that.
So
Bite.
So let's just say, if you really have to catch a snake, where should you catch the snake from?
Head.
How?
Normally, I saw those lomba. They will use the thing, the long. It's like a hook, to like grab
From
the
where?
snake, the head.
Yeah.
They grab, and then they will take and put inside
In the bag, and then they might release it somewhere. Yeah, hopefully.
We are not sure. We are not
Hopefully.
sure they will kill it or release. We don't know. That is the
We
thing.
hope. Yeah, we can only hope.
Hope.
Right. So because killing a snake is very, 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 very in Indian tradition, we call it one of the most negative karmas, because the
Yes.
snake takes revenge. And even if the snake doesn't take revenge, our karma will come to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful. Don't always be afraid of revenge. Be afraid of your own karma. Karma itself is like a revenge, in a way. Yeah, correct or not? So we are so scared of people taking revenge on us, but we are not so we are not scared at all to do negative karma, which is the revenge. So here, the idea of being bitten by the snake, meaning that when the sutra, a better way of catching a snake, if you catch the snake by the tail, then you get bitten by the snake. So you must know how to handle the snake, right? So in the same way, there are certain times throughout our Dharma practice, day in and day out, we are bitten by the snake, because we don't know how to catch the snake properly. So there are many snakes throughout our Dharma journey,
I understand already.
right? So these snakes, how to know that it is a snake, and we are bitten by the snake every time. For example, when we are sitting down in meditation, and then when we start to think that, I am meditating, I am such a good meditator, get bitten by the snake.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So if there is this thinking, I am practicing, and the other one is sleeping, so lazy, I am so good, this one not good, I am good, pew, again. So many snakes, very frightening. So we are biting ourselves daily, even in Dharma practice. And in Dharma practice, if we are all the time being bitten by the snake, our Dharma practice becomes poisonous. Right? So now let me just go very quickly through the right effort. So here, the right effort means when you have a bad thought coming up, there are 4 things here. Number 1 is stopping the bad thought from coming up. We call it unwholesome state. So the Dharma practice is very simple, and so you have the 3 trainings of morality, then you have the trainings of meditation, and then the training of wisdom. So in the morality, you have your 5 precepts, correct? And then your 5 precept, also if you don't practice, you don't make effort, you cannot practice your 5 precepts, correct? You must make effort. So what is the effort? And where the precept comes from the mind. Because if you want to kill something, like you want to kill the snake also, that thought came from where? How do you know? Where did the intention came from? It came from the mind. Correct? So now, the first thing is that you must, as a Dharma practitioner, you have to check your thoughts. What is your thought? In 1 minute now, you sit down and then you check your thoughts. Just check. What is the quality of your thoughts? Are you thinking good or something not so good? Good means wholesome. Not so good means unwholesome. How much of your thoughts are wholesome? How much of your thoughts are unwholesome? Check your feelings. Check your experience. So just no need to reply, just continue doing the meditation and check your mind. If at this moment you don't have any thoughts, think from the morning you woke up until now, how much you think good and how much did you think not so good? Meaning, how many percent are wholesome thoughts, how many percent are unwholesome thoughts? In the past, there was a practitioner, a monk, who had a bowl of black seeds and white seeds. So he used to have a lot of anger and always thinking negative. So he used to, like, nowadays we can say that we can take, I don't remember what is the substance, but let's just say you take one black stone and white stone. If you want to know the quality of your mind, each time you realize, you're aware that you have thought something bad, you put one black stone inside the bowl. And each time you think something good, you put white stone in the bowl. Like that. So then you can see. So you see yesterday, then you at the end of the day you count how many white stones and how many black stones. You can count. It's a very good practice, isn't it? So you have one bowl there, then you have white and black. Or you can have like, I don't know, like kwachi, white, black, I don't know, you just buy. You don't eat lah. Just buy the sunflower seeds, white and black. Put. Or you buy marbles, black and white. Yeah. So then every day you see. So today you see how much. So most of the time our thinking is more black than white. Black means unwholesome, white means wholesome. Then tomorrow, a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less. And that is a very good training because it makes you conscious of the first effort, which is preventing unwholesome states from arising. So that is the first effort, is that we know our mind can think wrong. So we must stop it. We cannot let the mind think wrong. It's not like meditate, I just let anything arise lah. Yes, in meditation you let everything arise, yes. But it doesn't mean that you must entertain it. So, but when you are in daily life, when you're thinking something wrong, I want to steal this, that is a bad thought. So you must cut it at that point in time. I want to kill this, I want to kill the snake. That's a bad thought. So when you stop the momentum, you stop it from arising, that is the first effort. Then the second effort is to whatever that already has arisen. Sometimes it's like you're so angry, or you're so tired, or you're so like full of emotion that you have said or thought something wrong. very angry with that person. Already came out, cannot do anything about it. There's no way you can stop it, right? So now, what happens is that once you realize that it is already arisen, then you stop it. So what is the difference between the first one and the second one? The first one is, before it comes, you stop it. The second one already come and stayed long time, and then you cut it. Right? So the first one is like setting up the like guardrail. You know a guardrail? It's like setting up a fence. It's like a fence in your mind. So which means that hopefully, nothing jumps over the fence. So you put a fence there. And then the second one is you actually let go. When you notice it, you let go. There is a difference between the first and the second one. The first one is it hasn't arisen yet. Nothing to let go because it hasn't come. And you're very aware that it mustn't come. Let's say, for example, you follow the first precept for many years. Killing. Don't kill. Don't take life. Don't take life. Don't take life. You already like told yourself many times, don't take life. So the thought won't come. You have the guardrail every day. You know what is the guardrail? The guardrail is when every morning you should actually take the 5 precepts. So here now I want you to make this a daily practice. Every morning you have to take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. Every morning. You can, if you don't know the words, but anyway I will give you the text. If you don't know the words at the moment yet, so what you can do is you say, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. For a second time, I take refuge in the Buddha. For a second time, I take refuge in the Dharma. For a second time, I take refuge in the Sangha. For the third time, I take refuge in the Buddha. For the third time, I take refuge in the Dharma. For the third time, I take refuge in the Sangha. And then after that, you recite the 5 precepts. And the 5 precepts also, I will give the text. So the 5 precept is like this. I undertake the training not to, to take life, not to harm any living being, not to take any life. Number 2, I undertake the training not to take what is not given, that means not to steal. Number 3, I undertake the training to avoid engaging in sexual misconduct. Number 4, I undertake the training not to engage in false speech. Number 5, I undertake the training not to indulge in intoxicants. Every morning you must do this. Must do. Why you must do?
To make ourselves more, to realize, to make ourselves like it is a kind moral.
To set up the guardrail, to set up the fence. So you are setting up the fence. So if you don't say these 5 things every morning, there is no fence. So the 5 precept is the fence. So when you knowingly, consciously you say, this is what, so the monks and nuns also, we recite our precepts once every fortnight. So that is like a guardrail. We call it the Uposatha days, the sojong we take. Right. So those are the days, the full moon and the new moon days, where we actually are supposed to recite the full precepts. And why? When you recite the precepts, then you remember, then the precept becomes a fence. It's guarding your mind from even creating that thought. So every day you recite, how is the thought going to come? Right? So that is one way. So the second one is, okay, let's just say if sometimes you are so like tired or sick or something like that, or suddenly got some very difficult situation arises, out of the ordinary you have that negative thought, very bad one. So at that time when you notice, you must cut. You must stop. So that is the second effort. And then the third effort is to cultivate the positive states. So you see the difference between the first, second and third. First one, you must never allow it to arise. It should never come in the mind. Number 1, it shouldn't arise. Number 2, if arise already, cut. Number 3, you must encourage the good thoughts to arise. Yeah? And number 4, once the good thought has arisen, you must make sure it stays. That's
Make
number
sure?
4. Make sure it stays. Maintain that thought. Right? So do you need to cut the positive thought?
No.
What should you do with the positive thought?
Maintain it.
Maintain it. How to maintain?
Lock it.
How?
Like every day, say the same like the first one.
So that's why we do chanting.
Chanting.
So that's why we do the chanting. The chanting is meant for us to keep that positivity in the mind. And then the chanting is also for us to let go of the negativity. So now, can you tell me, repeat the 4 things? First, let me repeat first. Okay, number 1, to avoid the wrong thinking.
Wrong thinking.
Number 2, to cut the wrong
Cut
thinking.
The wrong thinking.
Number 3, to let the
let the
right thinking
right
arise.
thinking arise.
And number 4, to maintain
the
the
right,
right thinking.
thinking.
Right. So in a way, if we change the words, number 1, we say preventing unwholesome states.
Preventing unwholesome state.
Number 2, abandon the unwholesome states that have arisen. Number 3, cultivating. That means encouraging. Cultivate. That means like the plant, How are you going to cultivate the plant? You've got to nourish it, flower it, and also you've got to make sure that it actually develops. So cultivating wholesome states. And number 4 is maintaining the wholesome states of mind. Right? So this is the right effort, and this is very, very important. Right? And so now, how do we relate the right effort to our daily life? That's more important. So, don't want to get bitten by the snake. So the right effort, the last thing you should do is that I am practicing and the other one is not practicing. You worry about your own mind, not other people's minds. So if somebody doesn't do their work, unless you are their boss, then you can say something, right? But otherwise, it's not your place to say anything. Correct? So number 1, the practical application is you find the balance between the effort and the relaxation. Not everything is super effort. Some things need a lot of effort. Some things sometimes need to let go. How do you know when you need to make so much effort and sometimes you just need to let go? How do you know?
I think maybe
when the thoughts arises, we cannot stop the thoughts, cannot suppress them, then let go. Thoughts will go away.
So then how about effort? Where is the effort then?
Efforts.
You know, actually every day you practice, so you will know where the effort first, where you first put the effort. When you first start your Dharma practice, where is the effort?
In breathing, in the single point concentration.
So meaning that you focus your mind on one object. Let's just say you're doing meditation, because effort can be in any place in the Dharma practice. Effort can be in the chanting, it can be in the prostration, it can be in mantra recitation, right? It can be in lighting a candle, it can be in writing a sutra. That's all effort, correct? So let's just say we are talking about meditation now. You're doing sitting meditation. So where is the effort?
We need to be focus.
Mindfulness.
So now you understand why effort you must understand effort before you understand mindfulness, right? Right. So previously also I already talked about effort, but we didn't have the opportunity to summarize it because that was the last class. Okay, after 1 month now we are coming back to this class, yeah. Okay. So now we need to find the balance between effort and relaxation. Sometimes you chant too much, then you get headache, and you get more angry. So sometimes you put so much effort, more negative thoughts come up. You start to get so angry with the practice. Yeah. So you need to learn how to balance. Yeah. And nobody can balance for you. Sometimes the teacher will tell you, okay, go and do 1,000 prostrations. But you are not the type that can do the prostrations. Maybe some of us very diligent, but some of us prefer to to do something else. because the mind cannot tolerate the prostration, for example, due to some physical condition that the physical body also cannot stand. And then when your physical body cannot stand, and then your mind becomes so toxic because you don't like to do it, and then the effort is, then you start making all the negative minds
And then
arise.
you have ill will.
Yeah, then you have ill will.
Ill will.
So you remember the five, can you remember the five hindrances? Who remembers the five hindrances in the meditation we learned? And this was also under right concentration, the five hindrances. Can anybody remember?
The first one, okay, you say first.
You say first.
I remember is the speech.
Right.
The five hindrances is the sensual desire. When we are doing meditation, our mind, our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body want to go out. So Dharma practice is about coming in. So the definition of a Buddhist is Nangpa in Tibetan language. Nangpa means come back inside, right? So the first hindrance is actually talking about Chipa. That means the person that likes to go outside. So outside, so which means that when you are meditating, you are supposed to be letting go of the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, right? So that is the sensual desire, right? So the second one,
We cannot have the thoughts, is it?
you have forgotten, you all have not been, you all must write down. When you come to class, you must write down. If you don't write down, then next time I will ask you each time. If you don't remember, then you don't progress. That's all. There's no punishment. There's no reward for good. There's no punishment for bad. It's just your own progress you delay. That's all.
Okay.
Like shutting the door to your liberation.
5 hindrance.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
So you see, in Buddhism, there's nobody who's going to punish you except for your own self. So now in times like this, now you can feel that not progressing. So when not progressing itself is a sign that you need more effort. That's all. There's no punishment, because the samsara is very long, and we have plenty of time to be here because we have been here for a very long time. So another one more aeon, it's okay.
But we cannot waste the.
Exactly. So that's why we need to make effort to take down notes. Okay, and
Is it right efforts, right speech, right efforts, right?
that is the Noble Eightfold Path.
That one no,
This one, the five hindrances
hindrance.
comes under the right concentration.
The eyes, nose.
Sammā Samādhi, Samyak Samādhi. How is Samyak Samādhi? So we are talking about right concentration. This is the concentration aspect of Noble Eightfold Path. We have done the ethical aspect. Noble Eightfold Path is divided into three. First is ethical discipline, which is the sila. Second is the samadhi, which is the meditation. And then the third is the panya or pragya, which is the wisdom. So we have just finished this one, what is called the ethical discipline. And today we are actually supposed to go into right concentration. And right effort comes under this is linked under the concentration, the concentration part, samadhi. So now 5 hindrances also come under right concentration. So what is 5 hindrance? Number 1, you already know, is make sure that you bring your mind back to your breath. To give you a very good example, when you're breathing in, breathing out, you bring your mind back to your breath. Number 2 is the ill will. Yeah. Ill will means like having a mind of hatred.
A lot of negative thoughts.
Yes. A lot of hatred, even in the form of remorse, guilt also is like a hatred. Yeah. So that means you don't like yourself, and you don't like others, and you don't like the situation. You don't like anything. You don't like the pain. You don't like this thought, you don't like that thought, you don't like your body, you don't like yourself, you don't like anything, a lot of ill will, you don't like somebody else, you don't like where you are, you don't like the teacher, nothing you like, because the mind is full of ill will. Or you like something, you don't like something, and that ill will you need to be careful, because it will destroy your practice. So the ill will is actually like a snake that is biting you also.
Snake.
Okay. Number 3 is the sloth and torpor, which is the laziness and the sleepiness. Yeah.
Sleepiness.
Yes. And then the 4th is the restlessness and worry. So the restlessness and the sleepiness, the sloth and torpor, and the restlessness and worry are 2 sides. This is the sleep and the laziness, sloth and torpor, and then this side is the
stress, the worry,
restlessness and worry. So also we need to balance. Right?
Yes.
And then the worst one is the doubt. That means we are doubting the teacher, the teaching, and whether we are doing correctly or not. So if you're not sure of your practice, quickly go and ask your teacher. Don't spend 10 days in a meditation retreat and then doubting whether my practice is correct, whether my practice is correct. Already the teacher told you this is the technique, you just do. Then you have 1,000 thoughts as to whether it's correct. And if you have that thought, you will not be able to move forward. Yeah, because you come to a wall, brick wall called doubt, and then you hit your face there, and you cannot go further. Yeah, and it's all created by you. It's not created by anybody else. It's not your karma. It's not your surroundings. It's not your teacher. It's not your Dharma friends. It's not the food. It's your mind.
The mind.
So the 5 hindrances: sensual desire. What is the antidote? So this is when you learn the teachings, you must write it down. So now if you have pen and pencil, I suggest that you write it down, or write it on your phone. Do something, write it. Yeah, it's very important. We cannot just sit down in samsara and not learn, so this is very important. So I'll enjoy my drink and I've done my homework, so now you have to do yours.
Okay, so the 5 hindrance. Number one is the focus, right? We call it everything back to balance.
No.
The 5 hindrance, the six, seven senses.
The five
five
senses. The sensual desires, we call it. That means sensual means sense. What is the sense? Eye is a sense. Nose is a sense. Tongue is a sense. Ear is a sense. Body is a sense. Yeah, so there are sense bases, we call it. So this sense bases, then when there is a desire related to any of these sense bases, is called a sensual desire.
Sensual desire.
So one is a sensual desire. Second one,
Mind.
better be careful, think carefully.
Second is the ill will, hatred, and negative thoughts.
Ill will do.
Hatred.
Ill will do. And then third
one is the
sloth and torpor. Yeah. SLOTH and TORPOR, sloth and torpor. Tina and Mida, we call it.
Torpor means isn't true.
So sensual desire is called kama chanda. Ill will is called bya pada. Don't worry about it, this one. Sloth and torpor is enough. Pali for sloth is tina and torpor is mida. Sloth and torpor. And then fourth is
worry,
restlessness, and worry. And then the fifth one is
doubt,
lazy.
yes, very good, doubt, vichikicha.
doubt.
Yeah, doubt. So please make sure that you always write the teaching. Some, if you cannot remember, especially if there are categories, you must write them. That's how you will remember them. Okay? So what is the antidote now? So if you have sensual desires, what should you do?
Mindfulness.
You should
What's mean?
have sensual desire is cannot be done only by mindfulness. All mindfulness is not strong enough to counter sensual desire. The thing that conquers sensual desire is impermanence. So you must reflect on impermanence for every of the sense. And also asubha, that means the dirtiness, this, what we call it, this loathsomeness of that thing. So enough to say that it's impermanence, and also you look at it in a, if you're attached to somebody's body, you can see what it's really made of, and also look at the person as impermanent, for example, like that. Like you see, if the body is alive, it looks pretty. 1 hour after death, it starts to smell. 3 days already turn funny. You know, at some point in time it will explode because of all the gases inside. So it's actually very scary. This body is, it's worst kind of putrid impurities, we call it asubha, of the body. So you can think of impermanence and impurity as the antidote to sensual desire. And then the second is ill will. What is the antidote for ill will? Use your logic, use your understanding.
You have to
When somebody has hatred, what should you do? How do you practice?
Loving kindness.
Very good.
loving kindness.
Yes. And then the third is the sloth and torpor. So if you have that kind of sleepiness, what is sloth and torpor?
Means like laziness, like you feel sleepy,
Heavy,
heavy,
dull, brain fog, drowsy.
drowsy,
And then what is the
cannot
manifestation? You nod, yeah. You cannot concentrate. What should you do?
You can do the breathing.
You must make your arouse the energy. Yes, you can do the pranayama, correct?
The breathing.
The pranayama is to arouse the energy. That is correct. What else? You open your eyes. If you're sleeping if you're doing the meditation with the eyes closed, then it's good to open the eyes, at least semi-open it. Yeah. And then also you straighten your back. That's why we always say straighten your back,
Stretching.
or pull the ears, drink some water, or visualize a bright light. Yeah. So it's like being trapped in a dark room. So you need to bring in light. And the hatred is like holding a hot charcoal like that. So you're hurting yourself more than others, so you need to let go. Yeah. Alright. So then the restlessness, what to do? What is the antidote for restlessness? This one we've already taught, but we are going back again today doing we are doing a recap, yeah? So restlessness and worry means you've got to cultivate some calmness, right? So how do you know you're restless? Because your mind is all over the place, scattered here, scattered there. You have anxiety, yeah? So this restlessness can come anytime. Sometimes you are so much of work to do that you become so restless you don't know where to start, right? And then you bring that into your meditation also. So you have like scattered attention, and then anxiety. Okay, I thought there's some thing here.
No
Okay.
snake.
Yeah, the snake is a little bit better than the cockroach. So, so scattered attention, so anxiety is really very, very painful, very
I
painful.
think is we must practice calmness.
What do you mean by calmness? How to practice?
Breathing exercise again.
So you have to do that, like you said, the pranayama is a very
Pranayama,
important thing.
breathing,
Then you do the.
meditation.
So how to do the pranayama? Can you remember? So now let's do. So block your left nostril and breathe in through the right. And then block your right nostril with your your ring finger. Breathe out through the left. And then breathe in through the left nostril. And breathe out through the right. And then that is one set. And then once again, breathe in. And then take this. And breathe out. And then in again. And then out. That's two. Then once more. So you focus your mind at the tip of the nostril, a point between your nostril and your upper lip. You can feel where the breath touches this point. Pick a point and rest your mind in that point, and then you do the pranayama as many times as you need. Okay? So then the second pranayama is you do both hands. So your right hand over your left hand, the two thumbs joining together. You breathe in deeply, breathe in this beautiful breath, and breathe out. So you focus your mind on the in-breath and out-breath like a gatekeeper. So breathing in, you tell yourself, breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. And then the third one, the breathing, you take your right hand over your left, and then the two thumbs join together. You breathe in very deeply, and then you breathe out 10 short breaths through your stomach, not through your chest. So put a smile on your face and breathe out, breathe in, and do the exercise 2 more times. Fully breathe in and fill up this whole chest cavity and your whole body, and then you breathe out 10 short breaths. Focus your mind on the nostril. Right hand over the left hand. Again, you breathe in, breathe out 10 times. And then the fourth pranayama, you take the right hand over the left hand, and then you put the two thumbs together, and then you must note that your two thumbs are joined together. You must feel grounded, and then your buttocks is touching the ground, and your feet are touching the ground, the meditation cushion, your buttocks touching the meditation cushion. You can feel everything, you know everything. You're looking deeply, and then you breathe in this beautiful breath, and then you breathe out 1 time. Audible, heave a sigh of relief. Either you open your mouth or you close, but you can make it like audible. So by doing these techniques, the 4 pranayama, you are making your mind calm again. If you were sleepy, it will wake you up. If you were having restlessness and anxiety and all, it will help you to dissipate your restless energy. Okay? Or you could do this short, if you breathe in and then you exhale, long exhalation. So you breathe in your normal breath, but you exhale, you breathe out very long. Take your time to breathe out. So if you're very restless because you have some problem, some issue somewhere, some worry about somebody, so breathe in and then you elongate your exhalation. Make it longer, the breathe out. So this is also pranayama technique. So you make your out breath longer, then you will feel much better. Put a smile on your face. Breathe in normally and then you breathe out a little bit longer. So with that you feel a little bit better. Do you feel a little bit better? Yeah? So that means when your mind is very scattered, you're so scared, you have some fear, somebody is not well, your mind is restless, worry, so you have to learn how to control the winds in your body. So pranayama means pran means life force energy, yama means control, so controlling your life force energy. So breathing in and then you breathe out all this very long breath. Breathe in your ordinary breath, but breathe out, purposely make your out breath longer. So with that your focus improves, the clarity of your mind improves, the sleep can go away, and the restlessness, the energy of irritation also goes away. Long exhalation, yeah? So your the restlessness is like bubbles, in the pond, in the swimming pool, like bubbles. All this, and also the ripples. You can see the ripples, the bubbles, and all. So you need to calm it down with some technique. You cannot force. You need to just learn how to control your breath in a way that it will slowly disappear this restless energy, right? And then the doubt, what is the antidote for the doubt?
Ask.
Trust.
If anything we don't
Trust.
we
Is correct.
trust, and also we can ask the teacher.
Yes, you need to clarify, clear understanding of the instructions. Right? You need to also remember the Buddha's teaching. So now you all are, writing it down, meaning that now you must make the effort to remember. You can't just listen to the teachings and forget everything. The teachings are meant to be retained in your mind. You must not be the pot that is turned upside down and nothing goes in, or the pot that is right side up but full of holes. And then the Dharma nectar, the Dharma water, the rain doesn't go through. I mean, it goes through, but it doesn't stay. You must be very careful. So don't waste the Dharma. You all must not waste the Dharma. Dharma, if for example I give you honey, if I give you honey and I say that this one is pure honey, I pour the liquid. Will you give me a bottle that got hole underneath? I say this is a very good honey for you all. I brought it from Australia, wherever, very good honey. And then I say, come, I give you some. And then I pour. Then I ask you to bring a container. And then will you bring a dirty container?
No.
Will you bring a container with a hole?
No.
Will you bring a container that there's no opening, it's upside down?
No.
And what kind of container will you bring?
Clean and no holes.
Yeah.
And not
Why?
dirty.
Why? Because
It's a very
expensive.
expensive and good honey.
Yeah.
And also another thing is that person that have the efforts to give you the honey, we must appreciate.
And not to mention how many animals, bees died in the process of getting the honey. The sacrifice of the universe. The whole universe is inside that honey. Right? So now, is the honey more precious than the Dharma? Which one is, you know the answer. So therefore, if for such a worldly thing like honey, we bring beautiful containers and we want to retain, we don't want to drop. If one drop of honey drops also, we feel very sorry, right? The other day we had friends from Tunisia who came and gave us very the organic olive oil from their country. Olive oil, and it's very difficult to get. It's from Tunisia, it's not something that came from local market. It's not adulterated. It's a real organic one, and we are keeping it like such a precious item. Sometimes we feel scared to even take it also, because scared that we will finish like that, so we keep it so well, like that. So you must retain the Dharma that you learned like that. You cannot let the Dharma just fly and go away, because if you knew the worth value of the Dharma, you will never let even one word go away, much less the entire teaching. So now can you understand how important it is to retain it in your mind? You must be like the container of the nectar, the honey. Don't let it disappear. Or sometimes we go holy water. We go somewhere, we go and take holy water, right? Sometimes you don't want to share the holy water also, because the holy water after finish, and suddenly the holy water, you have, due to some maybe wear and tear, the water comes out. You feel so sad. The water has come out. Then when you reach Malaysia, this much only left, or maybe don't have at all. Isn't it? It has happened before, isn't it? That you try to get the holy water, you go to which mountain you go to, whichever place, Bhutan lah, Tibet lah, wherever, that you have got holy masters, and these are holy water, holy ponds, holy lakes, holy like Drupchu water coming from the mountain spring and all. Wow, you go and take the water in the very nice, you must take. And then tengok, then suddenly came come back to the hotel, no more water.
Will feel very light.
Or somebody stole your container, right? Why is it that water is more precious than the Dharma? Water is water.
Water is water.
Because of your the value that you put on that water. That's why the water becomes precious. It's because you project a value onto that water. So now what value do you project onto Dharma? So if the Dharma is very precious, you don't want to even lose one word of the Dharma also.
Yes.
So now,
keep it.
Yeah, so how to keep?
Remember.
How to remember?
Practice.
How to remember? First you need to listen. Then when you listen, you also have to key in. And then you've got to reflect on it again and again and again. So when you take the teachings, the Dharma is like you just opening the bottle, the cap only. It hasn't gone in yet. So when you write down, it goes in a little bit. When you reflect, it goes in a little bit more. And when you meditate, it becomes full. That is how you practice the Dharma. It's not that you take the teaching, your Dharma bottle will become full. No. That's just opening the cap only. Okay? So now, for the doubt, you have got to ask questions. You've got to trust in the process. It's like coming to a crossroads and you must choose one path, and then you choose the path. The trust in your teachers, trust in the teachings, trust in the Buddha, trust in the Dhamma, trust in the Sangha, trust in the process. Trust yourself that you have listened accurately, and then if you feel that you don't know, still you must ask. You must clarify. Okay? So these are the 5 hindrances. Now, you have studied the efforts today. The 4 efforts you must write down. Then the 5 hindrances. So now I want to go to you, and we talk about the snake also. Correct? So now, what is the snake got to do with anything? So what is the role of the snake here? To scare you?
Negativities, all the negativities.
Not necessarily a snake is negative. So basically here I would like to offer you some ideas about when you do Dharma practice, and when you come to the right concentration part. Right concentration is not only during meditation, it is for every Dharma practice that you do. There is right concentration, and right concentration must start with right effort. Right? Samā, what they call that? What? The right effort is what?
Right actions.
Samā Vayama, which means that the right effort. Then after that you've got your Sammā Sati, which is your right mindfulness. So can you tell me what is right mindfulness? So now I would like you to come back to your breath, your right hand over your left hand, the body straight, the two thumbs joined together, put a smile on your face, and I want you to feel deeply the two thumbs joining together. I want you to feel as if the two thumbs are really hugging each other. And I want you to feel that your buttocks is touching this cushion, and your buttocks is really like blending in with the cushion, like really resting. You can really feel it come alive. And then your feet also, like they are touching the lotus ground. I want you to turn your ordinary restless experience into deep experience. Through the power of mindfulness, you breathe in, you tell yourself, breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. So once again, you concentrate on the point between your nostril and your upper lip. You can feel that air, and then you breathing in, you tell yourself, breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. In, out, in, out. So your mind must be focused on the one point between your nostril and your upper lip, and you rest your mind inside there and enjoy the breathing. Enjoy breathing in deeply. Of course, you're breathing using your natural breath, but the breathing in and breathing out, you are enjoying it. So when you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. When you're breathing out, you know you're breathing out. It's not like automatic breathing, you don't know. You know you are making a conscious effort to know you're breathing in and to know you're breathing out. So you know your two thumbs are joined together, and you can feel like the two thumbs are hugging each other. You can feel that you're sitting on a lotus like that. Your feet are like touching a soft, beautiful lotus. So you turn this experience into a very deep experience of awareness of everything. So it's so important for your experience to be grounded in this beautiful awareness of the present moment. So when you're aware of the present moment, only then you start to be fully alive. And that is mindfulness, yeah? So which means, mindfulness means present moment awareness. So now, when you say you know you're breathing in, meaning it's a clear knowing, it's called Sampajana. The mindfulness is just the remembering part. You remember when your mind goes to the past or goes to the future, or grabbing at something you like, or pushing something you don't like, you gently bring the mind back to your breath. That activity of gently bringing the mind back to the breath, that is called recollection, remembering, that is called mindfulness. But the moment you know you're breathing in, that's no longer mindfulness. That is called Sampajana, that is called clear knowing. So before the Sampajana comes in, you have to have your sati, your smriti, your remembrance. You must remember to bring your mind back to the breath over and over again. And you must remember to note how your body feels, Mm. 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 Yes, sweetie. Okay. So when you sit down, you know. So you remember to note everything. So noting down small little things is very important. So what are you noting? So initially, in all the previous classes, I have taught you how to note your breathing in and breathing out, where the mind goes to the past, goes to the future, like, dislike, and then gently bring your mind back to your breath. That is one kind of a recollection. Now I would like you to recollect how it feels to sit on the cushion. Continue to meditate. Don't open your eyes. Continue to meditate. How does it feel when your two thumbs are joined together? How does it feel when your feet are touching the ground? How does it feel when your buttocks is touching the cushion? How does it feel when the fan touches your skin? So you are deeply noting. So this is how you call looking deeply, not just superficial understanding. That means you know. So now there is a crossing between the mindfulness and the Sampajana. Sampajana means clear knowing. So you need mindfulness. First you need the effort. So you need to make sure you know the technique, and then you make the effort to remember. And that remembering results in your deep knowing, the direct experience. So now you know. Nobody else can tell you how it feels like sitting on the cushion. You know. Nobody else can tell you how your in-breath feels like, your out-breath feels like. Nobody can tell you. And then you know your two thumbs are joining together, how it feels. And once you know, once you start looking deeply, you really feel the two thumbs joining together, you really know how it feels. I want you to check what happens in your heart. Please check. Put a smile on your face. When you don't smile and you smile, also note the difference. What is the difference when you smile, and what is the difference when you don't smile? You know. So I want you to recollect many things. So the mindfulness is here. Mindfulness of the breathing in and breathing out, that is one. Mindfulness that your thumbs are touching each other, that's number two. Mindfulness of sitting on the cushion, number three. Mindfulness of your feet touching the ground, number four. Mindfulness of the air touching your skin, number five, and many other things. So learn how to live deeply in the present moment. This is called mindfulness, and whatever arises, whatever thoughts that come, whether it's the past, future, like, dislike, don't follow. Just observe them, let them arise. Don't stop anything from arising. We cannot stop nature, just like we cannot stop snakes from coming into our houses. That's not our job to stop them, right? So we just allow them to they come, they stay for a short while, just like the snake, and then they disappear. When it comes to the snake, there's no guarantee that it will disappear. But when it comes to your thoughts, your sensations, your feelings, 100% they will disappear. So you are like walking down the street. Okay, so now on the street, suddenly got so many people. There's so many people on the street. And these people represent your thoughts, your feelings, so many thoughts coming. So one person here, one person there. And then when you walk down the street, let's say you are shopping in the street, you don't look at everybody, isn't it? So you just, if you want to walk from this street to that street, you just walk. And then you look at people, okay, but you don't go around hugging people, shaking hands with people, and you don't let people disturb your mind. You just go. You know you have got to go from here to there. You just walk. So if there are 1,000 people or 100 people, it doesn't make any difference to you. You let the people move, and you are moving. in your direction, others are moving in their direction. Why are you stopping others from moving? In the same way, why are you stopping the thoughts from arising? Don't stop. The thoughts are like people in the street. The feelings are like people in the street. The sensations are like people in the street. They have to walk. Let them walk. They want to come, going in and out of the store. Sometimes somebody comes out, sometimes somebody goes in, sometimes somebody, does some playing of the music in the street and all. So you just walk. It's okay. Sometimes you can see, okay, there's music. But you're not going to stand there for hours and hug the person playing the music. You will move on. So same thing in your Dharma practice, in your meditation practice. You just continue through the power of mindfulness to continue breathe in and breathing out. You just continue the breathing in and breathing out. So simple. And that is not the only thing. So you breathe in and breathe out, so you know your two thumbs are joining together, how it feels like. You know how your buttocks touches the ground, the meditation cushion. You know everything. It's so beautiful. You really feel that everything becomes so clear because you are really knowing. It's not somebody else telling you. You know. And you can feel deeply because you care to look deeply. Now you're looking deeply. What are you looking at? You're looking at your thumbs joining together. You're looking at your breath. You're watching your breath. You're watching your thumb. You're noticing the sitting, your hand position, the touch between the two thumbs, the touch between your bum and the cushion. And you note this, and you're alive. That is looking deeply. So just relax and enjoy, no need to judge, yeah? So be aware of everything that is happening. So because of the power of mindfulness, you are aware of what is going on, and the awareness results in clear knowing, meaning that you really know you're breathing in. And the awareness just becomes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So now the real miracle is not walking on water. The real miracle is walking on the land, on the grass, with mindfulness. Isn't it? Okay, so come back. So what we are going to, so when I talk about being caught by the snake, meaning that why is it that the enlightenment is already inside us. I promise to talk with you about enlightenment. It's already inside here. So we make so many efforts to want to do something, to want to gain something, to want to chase after something, but it's already here. So please listen very carefully what I have to tell you. Dharma practice, any practice you do, especially meditation, is not about achieving anything. It's actually letting go of the conceptual mind, letting go of the concept. So just now when you were sitting down and your two thumbs joined together, was there a concept? Do you need a concept to tell you that there is, you're touching? Is there a concept? You just know.
Just know.
Exactly. And when you know, do you feel your heart opening? Can you feel the heart open or not?
Yes.
When you were breathing in, breathing out, when you start to realize, when you start to know deeply, are you getting in touch with your home, Do you feel something opening up here?
The heart and then
No need to think.
yeah,
No concept. Just tell me whether
the feelings.
you feel something opening up or not. You feel that you are coming back to yourself.
Yeah.
You have that feeling that you start to understand yourself better. That's all. You maybe you know that you're relaxing. Maybe you know that you feel more space, more relaxed. Why do you feel more relaxed?
Because we come back to our home.
Yes. And why the whole life you couldn't come back home? Before we do, let me just request something. So, why was it so difficult for you to come back home? Where is the problem?
The problem is
Six sense spaces.
The problem is all those things.
desire.
The six sense basis also is related to your desire, and that desire also has got a concept. That the concept of happiness is in that object. So your happiness concept is there, right? So that full of concepts. And then the ill will also is concept. Then the sleepiness is too tired of the concept, don't know what to do, sleep. Because when you come into meditation, meditation asks you to let go, no concept. And when you have no reference point, you don't know what to do, your mind just cannot function. Cannot function because there's nowhere to hold. Your mind must always hold something. And when you have nothing to hold, you sleep. And then the fourth one is the restlessness. Restlessness is too much thinking, overthinking. Rest is concept after concept after concept. So if you are stuck in concept, you're bitten by the snake. That means you caught the snake by the tail. So Dharma practice and worldly life cannot be the same in terms of the way we approach it. We must approach our worldly life in the Dharma. Our worldly life now, we are chasing after the five senses. Our worldly life now, we must think and think. So we cannot see something without a concept. It's like now this is a concept and I'm seeing the computer here. So if I don't have this, I'll just see a computer. A computer is computer. But this one here is a concept. What is the brand? What is this one? This one. Concept. So I can't see the computer very clearly. I just know very vaguely that it's a computer here. But all my energy is gone into this concept. So everything that we do in life, eating also, we are not eating the food, we are eating the concept. When we are drinking water also, we are not drinking the water. We are drinking the concept. What is the concept? The notion, past, future, like, dislike, good, bad, tasty, not tasty. All these are concepts.
It happens in daily life.
So then how are we going to find peace? Because that's how we are taught in our daily life. So what else? Driving also, you are not driving. You have a concept of time. I need to reach fast. You have a concept of space. This is too long. So many kilometers. How many kilometers? How fast am I driving? What is the time? So you're not being there. You're blocked by the concept. So cooking also, you have the concept of whether this is going to be tasty or not. You bring in the concept there again and again. Oh, this is Indian food, this is Chinese food, this one must be. So if you don't have the concept of this has to be nice, this has to be not nice, this is like that, and the past, the future, all. So when you're cooking the past, the future, your likes, your dislikes, your happiness, your unhappiness, your worry, your anxiety, all you're cooking together. You're not cooking a meal. You're cooking your concepts. And you're not driving a car, you're driving the concepts. The concept is driving you actually, not you are driving. The concept is actually cooking, not you are cooking. It's supposed to be between you and the cooking pot, and the fire, and the food. But how often do you realize that you're cooking? Half of the time, 90% of the time, the cooking is done and you don't even know you finished cooking. Maybe at the start you know, at the end you know, but in between you don't know. You just cook. And then after that, you suddenly realize it's done. And then when you're driving also, when you start a little bit, you have some awareness and mindfulness, then you drive, then when you reach a little bit, you understand. But in between, you are caught and bitten by the snake of the concept. So this is our problem as human beings. Fully poisoned by concepts. Because we never can sit still. The moment you learn how to sit still, that is the time you can let go of the concept. You never learn how to sit still, you will always be catching the tail of the snake and getting bitten by it over and over and over again. A concept is a poison for our own spiritual growth. It is good for us to learn also. Dharma, we need to learn intellectually, like now you're learning concept. I am teaching you is a concept. It's not your direct experience. Whatever that comes out through my mouth, you process it as a concept. We need the concept in order to understand it theoretically. But after some point, even that concept must go. So the Buddha, in the sutra on the raft sutra, so the sutra on the simile of the raft, not the sutra, the simile of the raft, the Buddha said, that time it was Mahakashyap talking to the Buddha. Then the Buddha, he asked, basically, how to practice the Dharma. Then the Buddha said, if you want to cross from this shore to this shore, that means a river. In between there's a river. From this bank to this bank, the river. How do you cross? How to cross?
By boat.
By boat. If the river is very not so deep, you can walk through, wade through. If the river is a little bit deep and not so broad, not so turbulent, you can swim if you're a good swimmer, right? But if it is very deep and got crocodiles and all quite scary and also quite turbulent, a lot of waves and all, then it's better for you to go by boat. But you still have to cross. The river is like the samsara. So you need to cross from this side to this side. This side got a lot of concept, that side got no concept, So here, you are going from one bank to another bank, and then you go by boat. So when you reach the other bank, right, then do you take the boat along with you? What do you do with the boat?
Let go.
You can tie the boat there for somebody else to use. You let the boat go, and then you just walk. Correct or not? But VR cannot walk without the boat. We need the boat is our concept. We need the boat all the time. We are carrying the boat on top of our head, even if we reach the other side. For example, like I teach you one concept. I teach you, let's say, what is that? Mindfulness. In order to practice mindfulness, so you need to understand the concept of mindfulness, but after some time you can let the concept go. You don't carry that concept with you, right? You understand what I mean? So it's like, for example, we are saying that like every single thing that we must actually carry on our head and go. At some point in time we need to let it go. It was only for us to travel from here to here. And once it's done its job, you don't need to carry it anymore. Yeah, but we are scared to let go because maybe the boat was expensive. Maybe we spent a lot of money. Maybe it's too beautiful. Maybe without the boat we feel insecure. Maybe we thought that there's another river, so we need the boat. So like this, we keep on clinging to the concept, we cannot walk freely. So the Buddha said it's very stupid for a person to reach the other side and still carry the boat on their head. We do like this. So which means, so the boat represents our concept. So everything also we want to keep. So when we are meditating also, we want to keep the concept of I. I am meditating. You know? And then also anybody else looking or not. So we are bringing all these things. So if we want to really progress in our concentration, right concentration, we must understand that we have to look deeply into everything. We have to just be in the present moment. The right concentration's basic idea is to be in the present moment. Why are you in the present? Why do you need to be in the present moment? Present moment doesn't carry the past like a boat carrying the boat. No future. And then whatever like, dislike, you just release. Whatever concepts also, we just release. So it's like now we have come back to our breath. And then suddenly the concept will come. Oh, ayo, this breath is so nice, so beautiful. And then another concept will come. How long must I breathe before I get into Samadhi? And then there's another concept will come. Is this now in the Jhāna? Or did I see a sign? And then you have the concept from the past that a sign must look like this. A Jhāna must look like that. You know, because you learn somewhere. And then you chase after it. So, right concentration is linked to right, understanding, because we have to understand that there is nothing to hold on to in the meditation. In the Dharma practice, don't hold on to anything. The moment you hold on to anything, you get caught by the snake. That means you're catching the snake in the wrong way and you get bitten by it. So don't hold on to anything. Just when you are breathing in, breathing out, then suddenly some nice thoughts will come. Then you say, now I am progressing. Or now I look like a little Buddha. Or now, people will say that I meditate quite well. I can meditate for 30 minutes. Oh wow, there is a pride that comes out. Then the ego start to manifest. So you must meditate without clinging on to ego. Even the self, you let go. No meditator, no meditation is going on. No concept at all. Just mindfulness, the object of which is the breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out your breath. And then you know that your hands are touching together, your fingers are touching together. You can really feel, and in this direct experience of knowing, you know how it feels like to touch. You know what the in-breath and out-breath feels like when you rest in the in-breath. And then you think, what else? What else should I do? Where to go? How come nothing happening? Why like this? Then you get, again you have caught the snake by the tail, and you get bitten by the snake. So you see, every single moment there's a snake bite waiting to happen. Because the moment our mind starts to manifest the concept, the notion, the thinking, the conceptual mind comes up, that's the time we lose the present moment awareness. And when you lose the present moment awareness, you cannot get in touch with the baby Buddha that is inside us, that all of us have Buddha nature. Please understand that Dharma practice is not about gaining anything. Dharma practice was not about an external trip of wanting something. Dharma practice is about recognizing that you already are a Buddha. Actually, there is nothing to do, because we have the habit energy of doing. So therefore, sitting down and just knowing, developing your sampajana and awareness to the highest level, in order for you to come back to your own Buddha nature. And that too, you mustn't have the idea of I am developing. I, the sign is me. That one is already bitten by the snake. And then developing, that means you're doing something. I am developing, I am knowing. The moment the I comes, the snake already bitten. And then the moment you think there is a doer, and the moment you think that there is a doing, and then there is something to be done, also bitten by the snake. So how to catch the snake in the correct way? What is the better way of catching the snake? Is to just be. Don't do anything. Don't be anything. Don't be anything, just be. Just let it be. Once you let it be, all the concepts will disappear. And when your awareness is sufficient, your focus is sharp, when your mind, your breath, your body becomes one, unified, there's no difference between subject and object, because there is no I that has come up to spoil anything, no concept that comes to spoil your knowing, to interfere and to block. Then you can see, you really can feel the Buddha inside you. And the Buddha has always been within us. We never give a chance for the Buddha to manifest, because we were too busy catching the snake the wrong way. So now just keep quiet. Don't do anything. Just let it go, let it be, but don't let it be without understanding. Look deeply. With deep understanding, know the technique, know the pitfalls, and know what is going on in your mind, in your body. You note deeply. Don't burden your mind with concept. Slowly come back to your breath. You know your thumbs are touching. You know their frogs croaking. You're aware. So awareness means there is a clarity, there is this energy that makes you know. There is this inner mind that just can see, can look deeply. That is awareness. The mind that can look deeply is the mind that is aware. And from awareness springs forth knowing. So you no need to think you're knowing. No need to think, is it awareness? No need to think, is it mindfulness? Just breathe in, tell yourself, I'm aware. Breathing in, I'm aware that breathing. Even after some time, don't even tell yourself anything. Just don't say anything. Just feel. Just be aware. The energy of awareness directs your mind, penetrates into a phenomena, and from there you get a deep understanding, deep knowing. So looking deeply is called awareness, and deep understanding is called knowing. And who cares what is awareness, what is knowing? If you practice, you know on your own, you will be aware. And once you understand that there's no need to carry the boat with you, just drop the concept. Instantly the lotus in your heart will bloom. And someday you will recognize that Buddha inside you. Because the Buddha was never outside. And there was nothing blocking the Buddha except your notion, the concept. There's nothing to clean. It's already beautifully perfect inside you. There's nothing to do. Don't do anything. Don't clean anything. Don't try to interfere with anything. Just know and come back to your breath. Just know deeply. Your body is on the cushion, you know. You're deeply aware. You look deeply. That is awareness. And you understand deeply. That is knowing. And knowing without thinking. Thinking is gone. You just know. That is freedom. Freedom from concept. This is the right way of catching a snake. So with this we end today's session on right concentration. Right concentration is just coming back to the present moment and learning how to let go of concepts. Because you're already a Buddha. There is nothing to do other than develop your awareness, and that too, no need to work to develop it. No need to, if you work to develop it, then you get bitten by the snake. If you work to remove the impurities, you get bitten by the snake also. Because as long as there is something that you need to do, you are doing, then the snake is already starting to bite you. Do without thinking I am doing. Do without comparing. Just do deeply. So my teacher, I miss my teacher's teachings, but I remember all the past teachings. And my teacher told me, Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, he said that walk on the ground as if your feet are kissing the earth. And when you learn how to do that, then everything you do, even now, the two palms that are touching together also, it's like I feel that the two palms are hugging each other. And when I walk in the morning, I feel my feet on the ground. And my teacher was absolutely right. I do feel my feet kissing the ground. And the moment my feet kiss the ground, I'm already in touch with the Buddha inside me. So the Buddha is still here inside me, not 2,500 years ago. The moment I look deeply, I understand I am nature. Nature is me. Nature is not separate from me. I am not separate from nature. Without nature, there is no me. I am made from all elements of nature. And I walk as if I am nature. Because I am nature. And when the clinging to this self disappears, the Buddha will arise in you. So after this, learn how to touch everything deeply. When you touch deeply, so that the deep awareness will develop, the deep looking deeply, touching deeply, walking deeply. And when the deep awareness develops, without you thinking it develops, is it enough? Is it not enough? Am I developing awareness? Just let go. And then when you know, when your feet touch the ground, you're aware your feet are touching the ground, and you feel, you know your feet are kissing the ground. It's like kissing the ground. That is the miracle. There's no other miracle. The miracle is not to walk on water, but is to be here, grounded on planet Earth, on the ground that we walk daily, to walk with mindfulness and peace. This is the practice. Sunam diye tamche zepa ye thobne nyepe danam pamje ne kega nache bala drupa ye tsepe sole trowa troba resho janju simcho rinpoche ma ke panam ke jureche ke pa nyapa me pa yang gong ne gong du pe wa resho. We dedicate this marriage to all beings, that all beings will be able to come back to themselves, look deeply into the nature of their own selves, without thinking that there is a self, without clinging to a self, without clinging to anything, a concept, and just come back naturally to the breath. May all beings discover their Buddha nature. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. Sabbe sattva bhavantu sukhitata.